Call this meeting to order. Will you please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, can we please start with a roll call?
Council President Prince.
Here.
Councilmember Perez.
Here.
Councilmember Vaughn.
Here.
Councilmember Albertson.
Here.
Councilmember Rivera.
Here.
Councilmember O'Halloran.
Here.
And Councilmember McIrvin.
Here.
Roll call, Mr. Mayor, all present.
All right, thank you. Tonight, we're going to start off with a proclamation. It is Sexual Assault Awareness Month.
All right, proclamation. Whereas sexual assault is pervasive, every 68 seconds, someone is sexually assaulted in the United States. And whereas Black, Indigenous, and other people of color, people living in poverty, LGBTQ plus people, elders, people with disabilities, and others who have been historically oppressed are disproportionately affected by sexual violence in significant and complex ways. And whereas sexual assault is among the most underreported crimes for many reasons, but survivors who are already most marginalized face additional barriers to reporting, such as language, immigration status, or disability, and whereas sexual violence exists on a continuum of behavior that includes racist, sexist, transphobic, homophobic, ableist, or other hate speech, ranging from rape jokes to verbal harassment to physical assaults. And whereas ending sexual violence requires us to address racism, sexism, and all forms of oppression that contribute to the perpetration of sexual assault, and whereas by working together as a community, we can alleviate the trauma of sexual violence by ensuring supportive resources are available to all survivors while standing up to and actively disrupting harmful attitudes and behaviors that contribute to sexual violence. Now, therefore, I, Armando Pavoni, Mayor of the City of Renton, do hereby proclaim April 2024 to be Sexual Assault Awareness Month in the City of Renton, and I encourage all residents to join advocates and communities throughout King County in taking action to prevent sexual violence by standing with survivors. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Renton to be affixed this 8th day of April, 2024, signed Armando Pavoni, Mayor of the City of Renton.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Councilmember Prince.
I move the proclamation be adopted as read.
It's been moved by Council President Prince, seconded by Councilmember Albertson, that the proclamation be adopted as read. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, nay. All right, motion carries. And tonight, to accept the proclamation, we have with us from KSARC, the CEO, Kate Krug. Thank you. Please say a few words.
Here.
Yes.
And I heard you earlier say it feels weird not to have Mary Ellen here. I feel the same way. Okay. But yes, my name is Kate Krug, and I'm the new CEO of the King County Sexual Assault Resource Center, a nonprofit that serves this city and all the communities through King County. And I'm especially happy to be here today because I'm just 3 minutes down the road from you all. We're right there in Triton Towers. That's where our headquarters are. And I just want to thank you for giving us a safe and beautiful home. So I'm here to accept the Sexual Assault Awareness Month proclamation on behalf of our organization. And I want to thank you for being part of the solution to sexual violence. To the survivors in our community, I want to say, you're not alone. Sexual assault is common. Half of women and 1/3 of men have experienced sexual assault in their lifetime. People from marginalized communities, people whose disability, race, or ethnicity, gender, or sexual identities are at even greater risk. Chances are you know someone who has been sexually abused. The trauma of sexual assault is something that can affect a survivor's mental, physical, and behavioral health, their ability to form healthy relationships and remain in the school or the workplace. But recovery from trauma of sexual assault is possible with support. KSARC has assisted more than 4,800 individuals and survivors and their family members in 2023. Almost half of KSARC's clients are teens and children, and we all know that young people are the most vulnerable to sexual assault, and they're the least likely to speak up about it and to be believed when they do. I want to let the community know that we are here We're free and confidential, and we're available to all survivors or to anyone who just wants information. Our 24-hour resource line is a great place to start, 888-99-VOICE. We always say we can't change what we can't talk about. Thank you for your leadership and your willingness to be loud. Thank you.
Before we take a picture, I just want to say that it was no offense to you, of course.
Oh, of course not.
Yeah,
No,
it's just
I miss her too.
yeah, she's been part of our community for so long, and of course, their headquarters were here. So, we're gonna take a picture up here front. Okay, thank you. Okay, next up is the administrative report.
All right, good evening, everyone. Information about preventative street maintenance, traffic impact projects, and road closures happening this week can be found at rentonlaw.gov/traffic. All projects are weather permitting, and unless otherwise noted, streets will always remain open. That was it, sir.
All right, thank you. All right, next up is audience comment, and we do have a few people signed up. First of all, I'd like to let everybody know that all remarks must be addressed to the council as a whole. If a response is requested, please provide your name and address, including an email address, for us to follow up. Each speaker is given 3 minutes to speak. There's a timer right in front of you. When the little yellow light starts blinking, please wrap up your comments. And first up is Kayla Brele.
Good evening, City Council. My name is Kayla. It's Briel. Sorry about that. I'm a citizen of Renton. I stand before you today deeply troubled by recent developments concerning Renton Airport and their potential impact on our community, particularly our small businesses like the Landing Gear Works. I was here like 2 weeks ago concerning the crime that's happening with juveniles. However, this is a different topic, list of problems here. The recent lease approval for a tenant specializing in jet aircraft services is a matter of grave concern. It has come to my attention that the Renton Airport Advisory Committee, the RAAC, established to manage such issues was not consulted in this decision. The lack of transparency and the community engagement in this process is alarming and undermines the trust we have in place for our local governments. Moreover, the shift towards accommodating jet traffic at the airport raises valid concerns about increased noise levels and potential disruptions to our neighborhoods. Unlike propeller-driven aircraft, jets are typically louder and may operate at all hours, posing a significant challenge for residents who are already grappling with existing noise pollution. Talked to my friends about it this weekend. They had no idea that this was going to happen. They're super mad, and they're going to be voting. So, in addition, the ongoing dispute between Renton Airport Management and the Landing Gear Works highlights the need for proactive communication. It is distressing to hear that attempts to address the dispute have been met with silence or reluctance from airport authorities. As stewards of our community, the City Council has a duty to ensure fair treatment of all tenants and explore alternative solutions. Reinstating regular RAAC meetings and fostering open dialogue between airport management and tenants is essential for preserving the integrity of our airport community. In conclusion, I urge the City Council to prioritize the interests of small businesses like the Landing Gear Works and upheld the principles of transparency and community engagement in all decisions regarding Renton Airport. Let us work together to ensure that our airport remains a source of economic opportunity while also respecting the needs and concerns of our residents. Thank you for listening.
All right, thank you. Next up is Thomas Anderson.
Thomas Anderson, Renton business owner and Seattle resident. Mr. Mayor, Council, thank you for letting me speak tonight. My understanding, based on the council agenda today, you're going to be voting on a bill to move on our subject eviction. Eviction notice was presented to me already by what I believe was a unilateral decision by the city attorney and the airport director. Did you see that notice before it was sent? That's my question. I'm pleased that this will possibly move to the Transportation Commission on or an agreeable third party. In my letter last week to the council, I requested that it is with my persistence that I be allowed to show my evidence. I think this really should be looked at with understanding. I asked the council to look at this with an open mind. Please do not be one-sided having the lawyers determine my fate. As a reasonable man, I acted as a small business owner, doing my best for my employees, my vendors, and my customers. I had been handed a lease when I was not allowed to make changes or negotiate. That does not seem reasonable. I'm not sure the people who represent the council that drafted the amended subsequent leases understood that errors were made in policy and it needs to be corrected moving on. So I will state I do believe I owe the amount of money. I do not believe I owe the amount of money the city says I do, to take into account the precedent of payments made in 2016 and 2017 by the city to supplement my roof repairs, but it was left out of the draft in 2015, 2017, and 2022. I want to pay a reasonable rent for the space we use. Our short-term lease is the main factor, and as we are expected to adhere to a long-term lease. When I was offered a lease in 2013, it was understood by the council, the airport authority, and the airport manager that I was looking for a long-term commitment. And I was left out of selections. There were 2 lease pieces that I applied for, and those leases were lost. And recently, 2 places came available, and I wasn't offered the opportunity. Thank you very much. Do you have any questions for my comments tonight?
All right, next up is Derek Anderson.
Evening, City Council. My name is Derek Anderson, and I live in Seattle and work here in Renton. It's been my honor to be a part of the landing gear works for the past decade, and in that time, I've seen great things happen in aviation and the businesses that support that. Seen a lot of growth here in Renton, and we have tried on several occasions to be a part of that. I myself have made proposals to the management of the airport, and it fell on deaf ears. I have become a little bit disheartened in making future proposals, but we still are trying to work together. It's been my intention to continue the legacy that my dad started and make the landing gear works here in Renton be a destination rather than just a stop along the way. I know that our customer base is worldwide, and we really do try to be a part of the aviation community and our local businesses, and it's just an honor to be a part of Renton. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Next up is Gay Kiesling.
Hello, and thanks for allowing the public to make comments before each meeting. My name is Gay Kiesling, and I've lived, worked, and volunteered here in Renton for over 25 years. And my topic today is the community garage sale held at the Renton Community Center for at least the last 15 years. in April. This year it's going to be Saturday, May 11th. I participated twice over the time, and it costs about $30 to sign up. Each time in the past, for $20 or so, you could also sign up for a table if you needed it. And it cost $20 or so to get the table. And it was set up and put back away by the Renton Community Center staff. Let me repeat that the participants, like myself, we did pay to rent the table. This year, we can no longer rent the tables. Let me explain that this is a real hardship for anyone older or with a disability. At 74, I'm really not able to set up one of those heavy tables, and I don't own a table. And if I went to rent one, I'm not really strong enough to get it in and out of the car. I don't think my car is big enough. Most participants are older adults. And it's just not about downsizing, because we're older, but it's about being desperate these days and how are we going to pay our rent. Like I live in a rundown building built in 1967 in the Renton Highlands, and my rent has gone up 62% in 3 years. So also, if you live in an apartment, you're not able to have your own garage sale. You don't have a garage or yard sale. So when I called the community center just last week to reserve my table, make sure I had a table, the staff said lots of people had called to reserve their tables. But they had to tell them that the event coordinator said there were no tables going to be offered this year. So I implore the council and the mayor to direct the event coordinator to contact all of us participants by phone or email or text message. And that's how we got our receipts. So they have us all somewhere in their system. And let us simply rent a table. Last Saturday, I went to the Renton Community Center and I spoke personally with the organizer of the guitar sale event. There was lots of people in the parking lot, let me tell you. And the gentleman said that he did not use the center's tables because they were only 6 feet long. And his vendors needed 8-foot long tables. So therefore, he did have to rent himself and bring in 8-foot tables. And I'm only mentioning it because if the community center staff say something like, hey, wait a minute, we didn't rent any tables to the guitar sale organizer, that's null and void. I mean, that doesn't have anything to do with this situation because for every year, for the last 15 years or so, we've gotten to simply rent a table. Not asking for any favors, we just want to be able to rent the table. So I'm just hoping that you can help us in that effort. And remember, like myself, I only earned $75 the last time that I was at the sale. So any little $75 or $100 or $200, and please don't allow them to jack up the price of the table so that none of us will then be able to order one. So usually they were $20 to get a table. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. We will, we'll definitely find out what the deal is with the tables and get back in touch with you. All right, next up is Sami Saad.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, by the name of God. I just wanted to address one issue. I'm a gentleman, and I'm not a bad guy or anything like that. I have a bad behavior happened to me. Mr. Eddie, he was watching it. I'm a mixed martial art trainer, so I control myself. I was in an elevator. I came here when I told you I've been physically attacked by the officer. I've been attacked inside the elevator by one of the Filipino, and Mr. Eddie, he being very professional. He said, no, stop, release him. I never even twist my hand. I could twist my hand and break his arm and throw him away. It was a lady sit there. Mr. Eddie's there. I came here for something for justice. I'm not a fighter in the street, or I educate people. I'm a community leader. My name is Sami Saad. I own a furniture removal company and I own a cannabis shop. And I'm one of the first people owning the cannabis shop in Washington State to help community, not to make money for myself. When I have my cannabis shop is open, I was working in Alaska for minimum wage, and my tax records show that. But unfortunately, when I came here, I came for justice. I was talking to Mr. Mayor. I said all the cannabis shop is owned by two gentlemen, two white Caucasian, not disrespectful where they come from, but they have a background from Israel. And it's not about Israel, but not about that. But it's about his colors. Only one person he was with them, and it's Aaron Barfield. He owned Emil Hayes, and is being forced out. So to me, I came for to remove the cap so I can have a cannabis shop because I just win my license to help in the community. I want to thank the police. It's not all of them is bad because I think it's a lady. She used to be having no legs, no arm behind Fred Meyer, and they take care of that person. I'm the guy to help, not to hurt. Thank you, Eddie, but you didn't listen to me. You told me you will get back with me, and you didn't. Second thing is, I really need a copy of the camera. It show how I been attacked. Mr. Eddie, you confirm, you see that I been attacked. I never touched the gentleman. I can bring you in a court of law to testify on that. So to me, the police officer refused, Mr. Mayor, to file a report, and he said he don't know the gentleman. And after that, outside, he was telling a surgeon, "Don't file a report. That's against the law. I've been attacked, physically attacked." That's one thing. Second thing is I came to you with respect to ask to remove the cap. You didn't respect me. So, Mr. Mayor, so they going by you, what you're saying is too many shop. Too many shop owned by two white gentlemen is not fair. I'm a guy helping my community. I'm Muslim. I am African. I am black. I am Israelite. I am Arab. I'm mixed. I am not white, but it's nothing against white. We have to work together. She said she support me, and others they support me. And we have a lot of people, they can come here, but unfortunately it's Ramadan, it's Eid. They don't come during those days. Mr. Mayor, you need to listen to people making you cry, not making you laughing at you. You own a shop, you own a restaurant. You will never like nobody take your restaurant or take your seat. It's not fair. I own the first medical shop in Washington State since 2009, 2010, and I've been forced out. And later we get the social equity license. We've been just acknowledged by the state to own our license. Can you remove the cap? This is one. Second thing is, so you're talking about, the last thing you're talking about, people is being physically attacked, or you're talking about, raping people or something like that, about rape. I'm from Sudan originally, but I'm American. We have people is being raped in Sudan, and we need you to send to Democrat and Republican. The fight in Sudan is not a fight between two generals. They need to leave Sudan alone. Sudan is being supported by Sudan army, and
I really need you to wrap up
this
your
is just a
comments.
message to send, because I lost the kids in Sudan. You know, you have to respect that. And United States, they send us a bad corn genetically modified. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and next up is Diane Dobson. Anybody?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. I am Diane Dobson, the CEO of the Renton Chamber of Commerce. I'm here today with a heart full of appreciation for Mr. Mayor Pavoni and the support he extended to our business community during a particularly remarkable weekend of ribbon cutting ceremonies. In less than 24 hours, we experienced a whirlwind of 3 ribbon cutting events that not only marked the opening of new businesses, but also symbolized a profound commitment to fostering inclusivity, opportunity, and progress in our city. First, on Friday, we celebrated the grand opening of Nurse Staffing Solutions, an initiative spearheaded by the visionary Chisela Chambers. Nurse Staffing Solutions isn't just a business, it's a beacon of hope, offering affordable support, education, and training for individuals venturing into the healthcare profession. Chisela's mission transcends mere entrepreneurship. She's actively dismantling barriers to healthcare access, particularly in rural, tribal, and marginalized communities. Her innovative approach, including the transformation of a bus into a mobile education and demonstration unit, underscores her dedication to breaking down accessibility obstacles. Then on Saturday, we witnessed back-to-back ribbon-cutting ceremonies that left an indelible mark on our community. The first ceremony celebrated the launch of Abyssinia Beauty School, a venture that may sound familiar but heralds a transformative new direction. Owner Minnie Tafase, fueled by a desire to combat societal challenges observed from her salon adjacent to Safeway in downtown Renton, took the courageous step of becoming an educator herself. Abyssinia Beauty School, now operating as a nonprofit, is committed to providing cost-effective or free training to individuals experiencing homelessness and single mothers alike. Minnie's recognition of the collective responsibility we bear as a community inspired her to use her talents to offer these individuals not just a skill, but a pathway toward a brighter future. Last, Firme Ink Tattoo Collective, an English and Spanish-speaking tattoo studio, proudly opened its doors in downtown Renton. Their enthusiasm for becoming an integral part of our community is palpable, as evidenced by their proactive approach in engaging with Mayor Pavoni and Councilmember Albertson at their ribbon cutting. They have genuine desire to contribute meaningfully to Renton's cultural tapestry. They have expressed eagerness to participate in initiatives such as the hydrant projects, showcasing their creativity while beautifying our streets, and recently confirmed their interest in learning more about the Arts Commission, underscoring their commitment to fostering artistic expression and community engagement, and for more reasons than just being called commissioner. Mayor Pavoni, your presence at these ribbon-cutting ceremonies was not merely symbolic, it was deeply meaningful. Your genuine interest, receptiveness, and willingness to engage with these new businesses exemplify the inclusive spirit that defines Renton. It's through such gestures of support and inclusion that we demonstrate our commitment to embracing diversity, fostering collaboration, and nurturing a sense of belonging for all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yes, it was quite a weekend for ribbon cutting in the city. So, three very unique businesses. So, all right. Next up is the consent agenda. There are 5 items for council's consideration. Are there any pulled for separate discussion?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Council President Prince.
seeing none, I move we approve the consent agenda as published.
Moved by Council President Prince, second by Councilmember Albertson, that the consent agenda be approved as published. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, nay. All right, motion carries. We're going to move on to unfinished business. Council President Prince.
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Perez.
No unfinished business, Mr. President.
Councilmember Van.
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Albertson.
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Rivera.
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Lauren.
Just to break the trend, the Finance Committee has 7 committee reports.
All right, Finance Committee report. The first report is regarding approval of claims and payroll vouchers. Finance Committee approves the following payments. Accounts payable, total payment, $15,264,581.56 for a number of vouchers and 6 wire transfers. And 2 is payroll, total payment of $1,940,063.04 for payroll vouchers, including 681 direct deposits and 9 checks. This is the March 1st through 15th pay period.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Councilmember Halloran.
I move the council concur with the Finance Committee report.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember O'Halloran, second by Councilmember Perez, that the council concur with the Finance Committee report. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Okay, the next report is regarding a grant for the Comprehensive Plan Periodic Update. Finance Committee concurs with the staff recommendation to authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute grant agreement with the Department of Commerce in the amount of $162,500, which is the second half of the full grant funding of $325,000, specifically for Renton Comprehensive Plan GMA Periodic Update Fiscal Year 2024. The grant funding aims to assist the city of Renton with the planning work for the completion of the Growth Management Act requirement to review and, if needed, revise the comprehensive plan and development regulations under RCW 36701A.1305.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Halloran.
I move that the council concur with the Finance Committee report.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Halloran, second by Councilmember Perez, that the council concur with the Finance Committee report. Discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Okay, the next report is regarding a grant for emergency management performance. The Finance Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to authorize the mayor and city clerk to sign the Washington State Military Department, Department of Homeland Security Emergency Management Performance Grant, EMPG, Contract E24248, and approve the 2024 budget adjustment of $58,285.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Halloran.
our staff is amazing at getting these grants. I move that the council concur with the Finance Committee report.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Halloran, second by Councilmember Perez, that the council concur with the Finance Committee report. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
All right, the next report is regarding an increased bonus pay for lateral officer applicants. The Finance Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to approve the proposed change in compensation for lateral officers by increasing the hiring bonus to a $20,000 payment upon hire date and a second $20,000 payment upon completion of their one-year probation. This shall expire on December 31st, 2024, and will revert back to the current incentives.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Halloran.
I move the council concur with the recommendation of the, I move the council concur with the Finance Committee report.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Halloran, second by Councilmember Perez, that the council concur with the Finance Committee report. Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Mayor? I have
Yes,
a question.
Councilmember Van.
I might have misheard, but if the clerk can kindly repeat in terms of the hiring bonus and then the completion.
It's a $20,000 payment upon hire date and a second $20,000 payment upon completion of their one-year probation. And it also says it reverts back to the current incentives after December 31st, 2024.
All right, any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right, motion carries.
The next report is regarding an amendment to a contract with King County for VSHSL funds. The Finance Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to authorize the mayor and city clerk to receive and execute a contract extension to Contract 21-174, Amendment 2 with King County's Department of Community and Human Services to allocate $60,000 to the Recreation Division.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Councilmember O'Halloran.
yet another grant. I move the council concur with the Finance Committee report.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Halloran, second by Councilmember Perez, that the council concur with the Finance Committee report. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Okay, the next report is regarding an agreement with Moffett and Nickel for Springbrook Trail Boardwalk Repairs Project. The Finance Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to authorize the mayor and city clerk to enter into an agreement with Moffett and Nickel in the amount of $141,971 for the Springbrook Trail Boardwalk Repairs Project. As this project was caused by arson, the funding source is our vandalism fund, which funds repairs due to vandalism.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember O'Halloran.
I move the council concur with the Finance Committee report.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember O'Halloran, seconded by Councilmember McGurven. The council concur with the Finance Committee report. In discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Okay, the final report is regarding a ratification of an amendment to the contract with Valley Defenders PLLC. The Finance Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to approve and ratify Amendment Number 1 to Contract 1924 with contractor Valley Defenders PLLC to increase the monthly fee by 3% and extend it through December 31st, 2024.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember O'Halloran.
I move the council concur with this final Finance Committee report.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember O'Halloran, second by Councilmember Perez, that the council concur with this final Finance Committee report. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, nay. All right, motion carries. We are on to Councilmember McGurven.
No.
All right, that brings us up to legislation, and we have none tonight. So we'll be moving to new business. Council President Prince.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. On the committee of the whole meeting scheduled for Monday, April 15th, is canceled. And at 7 p.m. here in council chambers and by video conference, we will have our council meeting. That's all, Mr. Mayor.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Perez.
No new business, Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Van.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I wanted to announce the Utilities Committee the meeting has been canceled for April 15, 2024. I also wanted to thank our speakers for speaking, commenting, and then also just what a wonderful weekend was in terms of our small businesses and the collective effort in terms of what we see, especially with Abyssinia's nonprofit school helping the unsheltered and single moms. So that was great experience to have in our community. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All right, Councilmember Alverson.
No new business, Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Rivera.
No new business, Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember O'Halloran.
No new business, Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember McGurven.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would like to announce that the Transportation Committee will not be meeting on Monday, April 15th. It has been canceled. That's all, Mr. Mayor.
All right. So we have no solar eclipse to talk about. So what's the wish of the council?
Move adjourn.
Second.
All right, it's been moved by Council President Prince, seconded by Councilmember Albertson, that we adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, nay. All right, motion carries. We're adjourned. What's that? Cloudy out.